Welcome to the foreclosure workflow and timeline demonstration. This demonstration is going to use the Florida judicial timeline. For other available timelines, see the next section for examples of each state's timelines. These timelines are available to all licensed Perfect Practice users at no cost. They can be modified to meet your firm's specific requirements. Timelines are interactive with the other parts of Perfect Practice. Our goal is to automatically create the steps necessary to properly manage the workflow for your cases. A proper timeline will only show a task for the next one or two actions for each file. This allows the operator to concentrate on the next necessary step, rather than the entire process. New files will not yet have notes. Neither will they have to-dos. Each employee has a master task list for the tasks assigned to them. In our example, no current tasks are assigned to the employee. This makes it easier to see the tasks assigned by the workflow. Typically, the employee will work from the task list of items assigned to them or their group, not from the case. This is the transaction plan, set to automatically trigger when the referral date field is filled out on our Florida timeline. We've set the system to automatically trigger a note that the referral has been received, and also set to-dos, 10 days into the future. In our example, we've manually filled out the referral date. When the Save button is pressed, the pre-programmed sequence of events will be triggered. A grid will appear, showing what's about to happen. At this stage, you can modify the due dates, change the descriptions, or assign the entries to different employees if you wish. The projected date for having the complaint filed is automatically filled in. If this were an electronic referral from LPS, Vendorscape or another servicing platform, this information would automatically appear. When the referral date is saved, the note that the referral has been received from the client is automatically created. Any to-do items associated with this event will also appear in the task list for the case. They will also appear in the task list for the employee assigned to the tasks. Employees will normally work from their task list. In our example, we'll work from the case task list, so we can follow the process all the way through. In our example, 2 tasks were assigned. The task to file the complaint does not trigger the next step in the process. To mark it as accomplished, highlight it, and use the right mouse click. A menu will appear. Select the Finish To-Dos option. The date accomplished will default to the current date. If the task was accomplished at an earlier time, the date can be modified by typing into the date field. When the correct date is displayed, click on OK to finish the task. If you prefer, you can click on the drop-down to display the calendar component. The accomplished date can be selected from the calendar. The finished task will immediately disappear from the task list for both the case and the employee assigned the task. When the summons have been sent for service, we'll follow the same process to complete the Sent for Summons service task. Immediately, the next task in the workflow will appear. If we check the case notes, we can see that a history of the case events is being maintained. Anyone reviewing the case can immediately see the case status by looking at the timeline. Note that the date the item was accomplished is displayed in the Accomplished column. The initials of the person who marked the item as accomplished is displayed in the Finished By column. If there's a problem accomplishing a task by the due date, double-click on any part of the to-do, other than the note field. This will bring the to-do screen up, with the selected to-do displayed and ready for editing. It will be useful to type in the reason the task was not accomplished by the original due date. Reschedule, by clicking on the drop-down to get the calendar display. Choose the new due date. Save your changes, by clicking on the check mark. Once again, all items related to this specific entry will be displayed, in case additional edits are necessary. Anyone looking at the timeline screen can immediately see that the due date has been reprojected. They can also see the reason in the comments field. If you wish to review the entire comment history, simply double-click on the comment. The entire comment field will be displayed, with scroll bars, if necessary. The user will simply see the modified task with its new due date on their task list. As the users work the case, the same process will be used for each step. At the completion of the case, all accomplished items will have a date, as well as who in your firm marked the tasks as accomplished. The next step will always be displayed. The notes will automatically be maintained. It's important to remember that the actual entries, triggered by any part of the timeline, can be controlled by you. Additional steps can be added. More to-dos can be kicked off by a particular step. Even other transaction types can be generated. You might wish to add an automatic fee or cost transaction at one step of the process. You can even have an accounting to-do launched, so accounting knows which files to bill. Implementation of timeline and workflow management capabilities are virtually unlimited. This concludes the workflow timeline presentation.